and welcome back to Tabletop Talk. Man, that's weird because you get that only like 1 out of 3 videos.
Oh, that's right.
Because we just keep on playing. We don't ever say hello to you again.
Copy paste, Peter.
That's
Sometime during this episode, we're just going to randomly say, hello, welcome to Tabletop Talk.
Trying to plan at the perfect time. Welcome back to the Son of Man. Last session, our adventurers had just snuck into the Son of Man headquarters. And as the group was turning a corner, the Paladin commander Horgon called out to Alzim, a surprise to everyone. But before we get to that, I want to handle our bonds. So we'll go around at our table and we'll just say our bonds. Some might have been changed, some might have been added, some might have been removed. I don't remember. Let's start with Sterling.
All right, so I have changed Bolt of Light Novavich's bonds. His new bonds are Led's God is strange and mysterious, and I must find out more about them. And then for Alzim, I worry that Alzim might follow the party line. And that's in regards to, murdering people to feed the sun god.
Led Kinless has kept his bond for Light. Light is in constant danger. I will protect them. I will keep them safe. I think that is about to get ramped up a little bit. And then I changed my bond with Alzim to I am working on converting Alzim to my faith. I think I can do it.
Interesting. Because Alzim's bond with Light has stayed the same, is where that Light has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. It's actually evolved slightly because Alzim is a creature of order, and being a paladin, he likes the idea of the structure of leadership and authority. Turns out Light is a former aristocrat and a member of the noble houses, and it turns out that as they've traveled, they've kind of fallen into a natural relationship where it's like, oh, I'm an aristocrat and a member of a noble house, and you're a troll who serves in an authority infrastructure.
Yeah, you know how to give orders, you know how to take
them. So it became a very natural sort of like, oh, this is a very easy relationship that we understand. I now have a bond with Led, now that he has turned up in our group. It says that I respect his beliefs, but hope that someday he will see the true way. His whole weird, there's a sun in the sky thing that's not the one on the horizon is a little bizarre, and it's definitely not in keeping with church teaching. However, based on his bond, that might shift in the foreseeable future.
All right, those sound great. Let's get back into the scene. It's, let's see, it was kind of, when you were going through the secret corridor, and when you went to that bar, it was around nighttime, right?
Yep.
Right, so it's the night sky is filled the sky. The sky is dark because there's no sun, no stars, no moon. So there's a lot of torches in this courtyard. The courtyard is a nice little garden area with plenty of nice flowers and whatnot. The courtyard is surrounded by paladins staying at guard. There's a few clerics moving around, late night scholars moving scrolls here and about. Horgon had just called out to Alzim as you guys had entered into the courtyard. Alzim!
Lord Horgon, what a surprise to see you here at such a late hour. I casually turned my back so that I am slightly obscuring the view of my compatriots. Give a little hand wave, get towards the exit area, but I'm bad at subtlety, so it may not be as obvious that I'm being trying to be secretive about it.
It's so good to see you, Alzim.
It has been a long journey.
Yes, I'd love to hear about it. We've been expecting you for a few weeks now.
There were some delays. As you know, there was a great festival to celebrate the holy sun in the sky. And as a result of staying at a village to celebrate, we had some diversion. In fact, we must speak. Perhaps we could leave the courtyard in the ears of prying others so that I may tell you something that may disturb and surprise and change everything we believe.
He walks up to you, grasps you firmly, because you're so tall, grasps you firmly more at the elbow rather than the shoulder, and he looks up to you and said, "I would love to, my friend. But first," he looks over past you. "Have you lost a pair of manacles? I see that your prisoner is walking free."
Oh, fear not. Master Light has demonstrated himself to be a true nobleman. He understands his cause. You are not shackled, sir. You do not need to pretend to be. I learned very early on that there was no need to shackle him. In fact, he has fought by my side against all manner of evil. He is a trustworthy prisoner and has delivered himself as much as has been escorted.
Well, I mean, it was ordered for you to have him remain manacled. No worry, I don't need to hear your story. I have a pair myself. Here, step forward, Light.
I am prepared for what needs to be done.
He quickly shackles you, wrist and wrists.
Surely there's no need for that.
Why, he is a prisoner of the state.
Friend Alzim, we knew that this time would come. 'Tis merely justice.
It is unfortunate that the law cannot distinguish between a nobleman such as yourself and a petty criminal. But justice will be found. The Paladins of the Light.
It's not our place to determine what's just and right. We merely enforce the rules. Now, I would love to speak with you. Right now would be appropriate.
Yes, as soon as possible.
Excuse me, Garum. And he motions towards a paladin. Garum, please escort our guest here, Light, to one of the stockades. He must sit there for his crime, for his trial. It's been delayed by many weeks, but I'm sure we can schedule for something sometime soon. Perhaps the next day or so. Away with him. And then Garum, a rather kind of short, stout man with a big bushy beard that kind of billows out of his chainmail, what is that thing called? A coif, chainmail coif. Grabs you firmly by the...
As he approaches, I say, I am in your care. I don't resist.
He doesn't say anything. Just kind of grabs you and kind of pulls you along.
The coif is very uncomfortable.
All that terrible chafing.
No, and your beard gets caught in it, and as you're moving around, it is horrible.
So, Horgon again grabs you and tries to move you forcefully towards his office. When
I have learned to adapt to these small humans trying to exert force, so I will adjust myself to make them feel like they're doing well.
Yeah,
I'll do the whole Fezzik thing. It's like, I want you to feel like you're doing well.
Horgon was kind of an exception in that he always wanted to try and treat you like an equal.
Mm.
And thus that meant with the extra care that he gives everyone else. But after he pushes you along for a moment, he pauses, looks back, and turns to Led.
Apologies.
Yes.
Brother Led, this is my master, Lord Horgon. He is the director of my division. Brother Led is a priest of the sun. Yet, surprisingly...
You do not wear the effects of one of our priests.
Well, many months on the road, brother. You know how it is. It can be hard to come by vestments.
Right, yes, of course. Well, we have plenty of vestments available, so we'd be more than willing to give you something to wear.
Great. Excellent.
Yeah. We do like to put the holy in the holy vestments.
And I slap Horgon a little too heavily on the shoulder, as I have learned is how the humans react to good joking.
Of course, that means I don't have holes. It's a jest, a joke. But please, yes, follow me. You can sit in my ready room. Hormon, and he pulls up another paladin. If you could please follow me for a moment. This way. And he starts leading you to down these hallways. Alzim, you recognize these hallways. It's kind of like, it is the way to his office. It's up one the western tower.
This is reassuring, as it is not the way to the gallows.
Correct. About halfway up the tower, he does take a detour, and that is to a kind of a side room. Opens the door, and it's just like a little, like, kind of pleasant waiting room. It has a table, it has some chairs with plenty of pillows, and on the walls you can see are like lots of holy writings dealing with the Son of Man. So it'd be like, be lift as thou'st as high as the sun. It's all that kind of stuff, very wordy language.
I've been in a church or two. I know what you mean. It's like...
yeah. Says, lad, you may wait here, and Hormon here will get you anything you need, anything at all. He will take care of you.
Very well. I will wait here.
Thank you. You are a guest of this here castle.
Welcome home. You must ask for the wines. We have the best wines here.
Oh, I do like wines. It's been a spell.
Oh man, how much wine does a troll have to drink?
They bring it to me in casks.
So, and then he brings you all the way up to the tippy top of the tower, where Horgon's office is. He motions you inside and closes the door. He also, on the way in, he nods to one of the guards in the hallway. He knows that he nods, and then giving some sort of signal. You don't know what. Closes the door and offers you a seat to sit down in.
I will awkwardly put myself into the seat. By the way, is this the kind of cool top tower of the tower where there's a window where someone could easily leap or be thrown out?
Yes.
Are you a troll with a tail?
No.
Okay, thank goodness.
That would be really interesting. It's like, excuse me, it smashes like the back of the seat. It's like,
Do you have a stool?
There are
Okay.
no tail holes in this chair.
He walks over to a little bar and he starts pouring himself a drink. Then he says, "Can I offer you anything, Alzim?"
No. The matter of discussion is quite heavy, and I would prefer to not take advantage of your collection. I have learned over time that to always say no when humans offer their libations, because I have been told by some closer friends over the years that I drink too much of it. And it's usually the private stashes in people's offices are usually the good stuff. And so when I take a cup, I am not being not rude to them.
So he goes and he sits down and he you said we had some important things to talk about. Why don't...
I immediately produce the emblem of the priest that I found. This must be familiar to you.
Why, yes, it's a standard emblem we hand out to many of our priests.
This particular individual. Did I remember who it was? Did I ever see him?
This is the original one from the cave, right?
Right.
Don't we also have the Inquisitor's badge?
Yeah, you have the Inquisitor's badge.
No, that's the one I
that's the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to show how far it goes.
Fuck, did I write down his name? Oh, shit.
Because I believe you had said that because of the
So this
rank
the
of the
merchant?
individual.
No, that's the guard from Havendale. Oh, no. I just wrote him down as knight. Crap.
Chester.
Yeah.
Character
right.
archetypes
Yeah, you
instead
weren't
of-
in there, so
Oh, okay.
you don't know his name.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
But I believe you had said that because of the nature of the individuals, that
Yes.
the badges do identify who
All
they
right.
belong to.
Time to retcon the name.
Okay.
That's the badge of Orantius.
So, what I have discovered is, I had already said, we stopped at a village to celebrate the Festival of the Sun. While we were there, we discovered that random individuals, men, women, children, were being poisoned. There's a faction within our own order who are randomly drugging individuals in the countryside. I can only imagine this happens not just in the one village we were at, but all over the country. And these people are being taken and their lives sacrificed to the sun itself. From what I have learned, the sun is dying. And it is the lives of these innocents that are being taken to maintain it.
Is that all?
Well, no. You see, as I was traveling with Master Light, I discovered that one of the reasons for his arrest and the altercation was that he knows of the original workers that helped to design the sun itself. That they have in fact understood that there may be flaws in the design, and that they have already pre-planned that by building another sun that may be ready to go, rather than murder our own citizens on a cause that may seem lost if the sun is indeed dying. Because if we must sacrifice 100 a month now, would it be 1,000 a month 100 years from now? If these are artisans who helped us build the sun 1,000 years past are still around and have one, or have the secrets of completing one, perhaps they can repair the damage and restore it. We should, with the greatest haste, seek these people out, whoever remains of them, and discover if they still retain the secrets of the original building of the sun.
And what do you make of all this, Alzim? Do you believe them? Do you really think that the sun is dying?
Oh, well, the priest said as if it were. It did not occur to me to doubt that that was the case. So you're saying they are simply murdering people for no reason at all? That there's not even good cause? That this conspiracy is purely evil and not even for good cause?
I'm saying...
This is even a greater danger to our order than I imagined.
What I'm saying is that perhaps your faith is wavering. Perhaps this is a test. Perhaps there is no danger in the sun at all. Merely those that believe there is a danger in the sun.
I had not considered that. You are right. These are not merely misguided priests of the order. These are truly evil creatures beset on killing for no reason. So they are not sacrificing to the sun. Are they sacrificing to an enemy, a demon, perhaps one of the old gods that we've been told were dead long ago?
I do not know. But it worries me that something like this could be happening. Okay, so
it has gone so far as the Inquisitors being involved. There's no telling how far this goes.
So you're getting like a little bit of a sense here that Horgon isn't telling you everything.
Sure.
It sounds to me like a far-fetched story. The sun has lasted for many years, and by the sacred text, it should last forever. We built a sun. It is the Son of Man.
True. But if the actual sun of history itself went out, what arrogance would it be that we could have built a better one that would never go out? Would it not at least behoove us to ask some of the original engineers?
I don't think it's worth it to talk to these original engineers. The sun is already built, the sun is fine.
Then we have to quickly root out these murderers within our order who have been so misguided to spread this lie.
I think that, and he does the standard, stand up, look outside the window thing.
Oh, yes. Lou, can I stand up as well and make sure my shadow falls upon him in an ominous fashion? So as the camera pans, it looks like I'm about to push him out the window?
Yeah. Just don't bump your head on the rafters.
Yeah, I know.
The ominous villain back turn.
I think perhaps it's best for you to just leave this as is, and I will take care of this issue with rebels.
That does sound appropriate. It is a much higher level of intrigue than I am prepared to deal with.
I assure you I can take care of it. Merely should drop this matter, leave Light alone, and then move on to your next assignment.
Very good. It is late. I'm guessing that the office of the Exchequer is closed at the moment. I'm shocked to find you even still up about at this late hour. I will find my new assignment first thing in the morning. Perhaps you'll allow me and my friend Led to go into the city and get drinks to celebrate our friendship before I head off.
Yes, I was in the middle of signing a lot of papers. It's late. You should take a rest. Just simply go to the quartermaster. I'm sure he can find you a bed to stay in.
That will definitely be the case. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And as you're walking to the door, he says that, what one thing?
Oh, I too have seen episodes of Columbo. What would you like to say, sir?
How is it that you got into this keep? I had just passed by the front gates, and they had no record of you entering, yet I saw you in the courtyard.
Oh, there are an old series of tunnels here that leads from this particular keep to various establishments within the city. They must be a security measure for individuals who might want to secretly leave the temple in case it were ever attacked or under siege. A very wise architectural choice, I might add. We trolls had something similar in all of our caves. It's one of the reasons why for so long humans were unable to eradicate us.
Why did you not mention this earlier?
Oh, I only just discovered it an hour ago when we found them.
Yes, but when you were telling me about this conspiracy and all that, you did not divulge that information.
Oh, it was such a small detail that slipped my mind. Surely a conspiracy to murder the innocents of our town by evil, evil beings who should be pushed out of towers is much more important than this mere obvious existence of sewer tower things under the... I would imagine anyone with this would be just common knowledge.
A second detail, how did you get that badge?
Oh!
You just said an inquisitor was deep into the...
Oh yes, we were pursuing this matter because we found that these innocents were being murdered and taken in this village, we wanted to pursue who the criminals were. Imagine my surprise when I discovered these criminals were our own people. As we pursued them and discovered that they were in league with the undead, that was when one of them had lost their badge and we picked it up along the way. I never got the chance to see the face of the Inquisitor, but as he was fleeing, the badge was dropped.
Interesting. It seems as though...
I like my host shtick where I suddenly add undead to the story now. It's like, that's Alzim's entire thing. Whenever he actually has to write reports, it takes him like 2 weeks. It's like, did I miss this? Yeah, that's right, they were undead.
In your last report, you stated this, which we had not heard before.
Oh,
Please
yes, that's
follow
right.
up.
It's like, oh yeah, that was the part where I was in the toilet and I heard in the next stall. Yeah, Alzim likes to draw like broad picture stories and summations, and he leaves out details quite frequently.
Perhaps our conversation isn't quite done.
Oh.
We should sit down again.
Oh, absolutely. I apologize. I know you have taught me again and again that my reports were not sufficiently thorough. It is always so hard to know what details are important and which ones are not. Like sewer tunnels seem like such an obvious thing that one would not need to mention.
Yes, well, when we're
Very
dealing with
sorry.
these big conspiracies, it's important to know all of the facts.
It is my first big conspiracy, so I hope that you'll forgive me that I have no experience with such matters.
It sounds to me as though you'll investigate this no matter what when you go on the other side of that door.
Well, I mean, I would have another assignment, but of course it will be in my heart. I will absolutely look with suspicion upon my fellows. I mean, who knows who might be involved? I mean, that fine bearded fellow who led my friend Light away, he could be involved.
I assure you that he is not involved.
Oh,
Usually we wish to divulge this information to the higher-ups once we know how they will react. You will be a special case. Because you found out the information yourself. It's true. The sun is dying.
gasp. I will now sit heavily upon the chair.
The sun, the original sun, was built from the soul of a god. Immense with power. Unstoppable. And yet it stopped. And we see a human soul replacing that sun. One is not enough. You need 1,000, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. The human soul is merely a blink of power in comparison to a god. And so, it's running out. In order to save our realm, we need to keep the sun around. It felt necessary to fuel it.
But at the rate that you're describing, there will be no more people to sacrifice.
Oh, it's very easily calculated. You know,
Math is not my strong suit. So you believe we can sustain it with the lives of just these few?
yes, yeah. Besides, the area is quite limited. It's kind of works for both ways. We can't outgrow this small region, otherwise we'd run out of resources. This is how the world must be if we are to survive. I hope you understand.
Population control.
I know, it's genius, right?
Ritual sacrifice at a level that's enough to serve as population control.
Yeah, right? It's perfect. I feel like I've read this story before. But what about these original engineers? What if they have a secret we know nothing of? I mean, it's been 1,000 years since the original sun was built. Perhaps the sciences have advanced.
And what if this new sun doesn't work?
Well,
And how do you plan on starting the sun?
we don't know. Perhaps they already have found the secret. If they know a secret and we can spare these innocent lives, surely we should at least ask.
And if we create another sun, who would control it?
Well, we would, of course. Wouldn't we? Are we not the keepers of the sun? Are these not the engineers who worked with us to build the original one?
The Glacian, yes. We worked with them, yes, but they did not work so willingly.
Wait, are you saying that we stole their sun from them?
Wasn't necessarily a stole from them. It was more of when chaos came, when the darkness came, ideas were flung around rapidly. They were the only ones who came up with a working one. In order to assume power, we took it. They had the ideas, but not the manpower, so we made it happen.
That does not seem like the ideals of the order, sir.
Right, well, I mean, the ideals kind of work differently for those who know the truth. Those are the extra chapters.
Does the priesthood know of this? My new friend Led didn't make mention of this at all in our journeys.
No, the secret chapters, otherwise known as the Corona. It's only known to a few.
What now? Now
Well,
that I know,
now you have a decision to make.
I volunteer to go seek out the Glacian. I will go on my own, in secret.
That won't be necessary, and that'd be making the fool's decision. You can either get a promotion, grab that Inquisitor's badge, become a new Inquisitor, and help maintain the order of the sun. I'll give you the chapters of the Corona. You can read them. Make your decision after that. The other decision is we have to make sure you do not spill those secrets, and we are very thorough with keeping these secrets.
That seems not a choice at all.
Well, it's one you'll have to make.
You say there are missing chapters that will reveal the truth.
Of course. The Corona, the secret chapters, reveals the hidden light beyond the light.
If I have learned anything since I've joined the Order, is that what I have known before was never anything compared to what I learned afterwards. I accept. I will read these new chapters before I choose, and I pick up the Inquisitor's badge.
He goes over to a bookcase that's nearby.
I'll be awkwardly
And-
pinning it on while he's talking.
He pulls back.
I know it's like super tiny.
He pulls back at one of the books, and then pulls back at another book, and then a third book,
Whoa.
and then
What roll do I need to make to remember the sequence?
you'll know it.
Okay.
And the bookcase swings open to reveal a second bookcase filled with all of the same book with a black, what do you call it? What is the binding? He pulls out one, and he hands it to you. It's a black book, and on the cover has no title. It's just in a gold emboss, like the sun symbol, but with the inside like black. So it's just like the outline.
Only the gold embossing.
only
otherwise,
the, only
black
the
cover.
corona. Yep.
Oh, I want that book.
It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
I'm sure once you read the extra chapters, you'll understand.
I clutch it to my chest as if it were like the most precious thing I have ever owned. And I will quickly leave his chambers.
Okay, let's move.
Making quick pace to Led's room,
Okay.
where I hope to pick him up to go out for drinks.
Okay, perfect.
Or to the
that
lobby
means-
because he's waiting. In
By the way, he did not specifically say I needed to keep the book hidden from anyone, did he?
I mean, you kind of implied it.
Well, luckily I have troll-sized clothing, so I'll stick it
Yeah.
into one of my many breast pockets, like
Yeah.
those giant cargo pants that you can put a whole iPad in.
Okay, I think we should move on to Light,
All right.
who we're kind of rewinding here to where you are being dragged on by. Fuck, what was that first idiot's name?
Do we just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
cut to
Dwarven.
him sitting in the
Doesn't
cell?
matter.
It's
We
like,
could just
Sure,
cut to
yeah,
him
let's just
sitting
cut to you in the
cell.
cell. Okay.
Right.
I was hoping he'd be strapped to a torture device. Tell us what you know.
So you're in a cold, dark cell. You cannot see very much around you. There's very little light. A single torch illuminates the hallway that's just in front of your cold iron bars. All around you, you hear the wails and screams of other prisoners hoping to get released, asking for help, for salvation, or for just food.
Cries of madness in the darkness. Such were the tunnels at that time.
Your quiet contemplation is interrupted by the sound of a metal thing hitting the bars. Someone is walking by and just has like a metal thing, and they're walking by and it's hitting a bar after bar. Clank, 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 or is it cling, cling, ding, ding,
It's probably clang.
clang, clang, clang.
It's like that
clang.
song. There's an American song like "Clang Clang Clang Goes the Railroad" or something.
Clang, clang, railroad.
Is it approaching?
Yes, it's approaching you.
Okay. So I guess I note it, but I'm still just in my contemplation. I assume it is just the jailer or something.
Eventually, the clangs get louder and louder and louder until it seems like it's right in front of you, in front of your bars, and then they stop. You open your eyes and you see, in well-dressed clothing, Ray standing in front of the torch, illuminating him but keeping you in the dark. Funny seeing you here in rags and dirt, just like you deserve.
Ray. What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm enjoying the sight.
Enjoying the sight.
You killed my friend.
Boris was my friend as well.
How could you betray us?
How could I betray you? I was not the one. I was not the one who poisoned a brother. I was not the one who put me to sleep while you murdered those people. Those people who had taken me in, who took you in as well. The guest code. They treated you with respect, Ray.
They did not respect our ways. They did not respect our son. They tried to replicate it. They tried to create a new one. Can't have that.
So you murdered them?
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
There were children as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Entire people.
I had to.
But you knew, didn't you,
I knew.
that I wouldn't be able to do it? I only wish I had seen the darkness inside of you before I would have taken your life in my own hands. Like, hold them up, like manacled, shaking.
There's no darkness inside of me, light. Only the light of the Son of Man.
Okay, so I stand up and I charge the bars. I like ram them with the manacles and I grab on and I just am shaking. If only these manacles and these bars did not keep me from your throat.
Yes, and if only my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Wow. What an ass.
What has happened to you, Ray? What has happened to the friendship we shared? Those light-filled days, the Lancer Corp.
We were children. We did not know the truth of the world. You were not ready for the truth. And I could see from the way you reacted to, quite frankly, all the murder, you will never be ready for the truth. You see, we had to kill the Glacians. They knew how to make the sun. They knew the secret of the sun. It takes human souls. They were going to create a new one. And they were going to use souls for it.
I don't believe you.
I don't care. Those are the facts. They were going to create a sun, and they were going to use souls to do it.
Your words are poison. Justice has long left your heart.
We'll see how justice goes tomorrow morning. We'll have a trial, but it's hard to call it a trial when everyone knows the outcome.
You would stoop even as far as to pervert justice. I know what I did. But, and yes, I should be punished. My life, I did kill Boris. But he too deserved death, and so do you.
You always had this weird sort of honor. It came all the way back from when we were kids. You always kept your word. You always made sure that everything had to be right. Well, I'm afraid the world just doesn't work that way. There's no black or white. It's all gray. And sometimes you just have to choose the right shade. I'm sorry you couldn't see that.
You sound so certain of the trial's goings tomorrow. And yet my father, he would not let things sit so easily.
I'm sure he'll try to do something tomorrow. But
Unless he doesn't share these same views, does he?
no. He's not part of the in-group. He's not knowledgeable. Your family always was sort of the black sheep of the royalties. Now you know why.
Now I know why. I wish I could take my memories. I turn from the bars and I go over and I sit back down on the metal bed and I just sink into my hands again. Just sink into my arms.
Well, Light, it's been fun. I do not regret our friendship. We had some good times. And I'll be sad that... Well, I'll be sad. Let's just say that. I'm glad to see you one more time. I wish things were different. I wish it didn't have to end this way.
This is not the end. The gods have their ways.
The gods are dead.
You will find yours. If I had the power in me, I would make it at my own hands.
Well, go on wishing to those dead gods. Who knows? Maybe they might save you. But for now, there is one. The Son of Man. And its light will shine upon you tomorrow. And it will reveal the shadows within your soul. And with that, there's not much more I think he can say. And I don't even think there's like a real goodbye, as both of you are just silent. And he just walks away. And after a moment, you hear the clangs as he takes his sword and like kind of scrapes it against the prison bars.
You threw your childhood best friends.
Yes. Yep. So we
And
were
I know your
childhood best
scene would've
friends. The
been so-
guy I killed was not personally a friend, like not a best friend, but it was like, it's like, you know, those rich boys clubs where they grow up doing all the same thing.
Yep.
Playing polo and
yes.
So yeah, his lance of
Getting girlfriends together,
Yep,
have your first
yeah.
like secret behind the barn masturbation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and he and the 15 other people.
Had I known you at
Pretty close for
15
years.
people, that's a huge
It's
circle
all-
jerk.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, that
that's
was
like-
the lance, so that wasn't
Oh.
like the close group.
Oh, okay.
That was like the main knights, and then you
Yeah.
have your
Had I known your
squires.
scene
Yeah,
was-
they're squires.
would have
Yeah.
been so awesome. I would have pushed Torgon out the window. the right point in when he says, "The gods will save you," his body like falls past the window.
And let's shift the camera back up to the waiting room where
Led is hopefully enjoying the
there's Led.
best wine in the realm.
Yeah, so Led has a glass of wine in front of him. How could he not? He's a dwarf. But he's really struggling to enjoy it, right?
Yeah,
He's full of anxiety and dread right now because he is in the wrong place. And Alzim put some words and some onus upon him that he is going to really struggle to live up to. Like, I don't even know the freaking verses of the light. I can even sing along in church. He told me I'm a priest. Told him I'm
Oh
a
my
priest.
God. I just realized how hilarious that is, having been through that many times in my own life. It's like the show is like, and the Lord is my, I want to say Taylor. And it's like,
He
Have you
makes sure I
seen
am
the
clothed.
Mr. Bean
Yeah.
episode? Like Mr. Bean goes to church. It's
We
like
gotta-
that.
we quickly go back to when whether the guard gave you like when he asked you what you'd like, he comes back in the room with like a glass of wine
Mhm.
and then the vestments. He hands them to you and says,
oh, yes.
"Light be with you."
Thanks, man.
be with you.
He's like cocks his head, but he doesn't knows not to question things.
Is that-
So he goes,
Not how they do it. That's how the dwarves do it.
"It's
Humans. The dwarves use a massive headbutt as a
not
grenade.
not wanting to embarrass you." The guard just kind of just like raises his hand, goes back to the door, leans back, and just kind of crosses his arms.
Oh, he's on the inside.
Yeah, he's watching.
Yeah,
you.
Ugh.
it's pretty obvious that this guy is not just a like get things, but also
Gotcha.
watch.
Super awkward.
Just to take care of it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you're in this room, and it's boring.
Yeah,
It's just a room. There's only the religious stuff on the table. You notice there's a Bible,
Yep.
or like a book, or to the Son of Man.
yeah. Led like jumps up onto the couch. It's a bit of a hop for him. And he sits there with the stubby little legs sticking out, and he like twiddles his thumbs.
Yeah, it's boring.
He'll probably at some point he will like pick up the book and pretend like he's like very self-consciously pretend like he's skimming through it trying to prepare a sermon or something like that, like as though he knows the gist of it and he's just like looking at different parts of it.
So yeah, you're reading it. It's interesting, or I mean, like some parts of it, like
He would have like read it before, right?
yeah, like you've read it before, so it's like kind of boring. You leave to a section that deals about like the creation of the sun, and it's like on the first day they built the skeleton, etc. On the second day they filled it with the light of hope and dreams, and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
It's so boring. Your eyes are getting heavy.
Ugh,
You
this
barely,
wine.
barely keep your eyes open.
Even though I'm not enjoying it, I've finished 3 cups already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually you just kind of fade in sleep. You just fall asleep.
Mhm.
But when your eyes close for that last time, you don't sleep. You don't like go into dreamland.
Hmm.
You're somewhere else. You're in a new spot. you find yourself in a lively bar.
Oh.
It's the music's playing. There's a bard in the corner. He's singing some ballad about some adventure. There's people dancing. There's a bunch of cups being like thrown about. A group of rowdy men in the corner.
Everybody's having a grand old time.
Everyone's having a grand time.
Is it all humans or is it dwarves or is it?
It seems to be a mixture of people.
Okay.
There's like dwarves and elves, and there's some trolls. There's a group of goblins in the corner. They have like a big old like roast turkey that they're all like tearing at and eating.
Yeah. Goblins. Wow. That was a good bar.
Yeah, it's kind of a rowdy, roguish bar.
Is that the name? Quick pan up.
The Rowdy Rogue.
The rowdy rogue. That is a good name for the bar. Sure, that's what it's called. You see a waitress passing by has mugs that have etched into them the rowdy rogue.
Hell yeah, I grab one.
Your hand goes through the mug.
Oh, this kind of dream. Am I aware that I'm dreaming? Like
So it's like it's not like a dream. Like in a dream, everything's kind of like sort of like fade
okay, but I'm like aware
in and
that I
out.
like have been transported to this different plane.
Yeah,
and that this is like an abnormal situation.
Yeah, it's like you think you are there.
Okay.
You recognize that you are here. It's like you're here, but you just couldn't touch the.
Is it like am I aware that I was transported, or was it like, oh, I drifted off and then I got here and I'm not quite sure how?
You pretty sure you got transported because it was like one moment you were in the waiting room, next moment you're not.
I try again, right? Just like confirm, nothing. I like wave my hand in front of this lady. Is she reacting at all?
Nope, no reaction.
Damn.
Yeah.
I stomp my foot. Does it go through the floor?
No. We're going by weird rules,
All right.
weird ghost rules. You
Weird
can stand
ghost
and
rules,
go
why
around, but you can't touch anything.
Cool. Well, I guess I don't know. I'll wander around. We'll see. I must be here for a purpose, right? These sorts of things don't just happen at random, or at least that's not what the stories say about it. Ooh, thank you, James. So we'll just have to see what that is. So I wander around. I listen to conversations. I certainly beats sitting in that waiting room, right?
Yeah. So you just gotta go around the tables. It's like random conversations. One table is like planning a heist. Another table they're celebrating like a bachelor night. Eventually you get to a table with a single guy. It is an elf with long flowing blonde hair.
Ugh, elves.
And this elf is drunk as shit. He is just plastered. And
Ugh, elves.
He has like plates of food that's been eaten. He has like a couple of flagons that have already been drunk, and he's drinking one. And when you walk over to that table to check him out, he looks up and he says, "Can you give me another one of these chickens? I really want another chicken."
Hey, listen, buddy. Wait. You can see me?
What do you mean I can see you? Of course I can see you. You're standing right there.
No, but I'm.
Just give me a chicken. Can you give me a chicken? Come on, chicken man. Chicken man.
Fucking out. Listen. I say, and I sit down at the table. I'm like able to sit down.
Yeah, you're able to sit down. Weird ghost rules.
Weird ghost rules, sure. Listen, friend. I just talked to the kitchen. Your chicken is on the way. It'll be here in.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
You talked to the kitchen and you just sat down. How did you
I
do
went
that?
and talked to them. You like dozed off.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
Wow, all right. Maybe I should stop drinking.
I mean, you're probably all right.
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Listen, buddy. What brings you to this tavern, this rowdy rogue?
Oh, yeah, I like to drink and eat.
Best excuse ever.
You know?
What brings you here?
I'm not really sure. It was just that sort of night, right? You just find yourself in a place like this. You know
Yeah?
what it is?
Wow. That's a BS reason? Nah, come on, why are you here?
What, you gave me a BS reason you like to eat and drink?
Yeah, so I go to a tavern because they got food. This is the best chickens. Why are you here?
Like I told you, I don't really know. I just sort of wound up here.
What do you mean you just want, like, did you walk in here? Like, were you hungry? Were you thirsty? Those are weird feelings, aren't they? Just walking around and suddenly you're hungry.
It is sort of a strange
I never
feeling.
got used to it.
It just comes out of your body.
Yeah.
Listen, how do you... I like... Hold still for a second. There's an old Dwarven thing. I know elves, but... And I like, touch him on the forehead.
You're able to touch him.
I'm able to touch him.
You're touching my forehead. Why are you touching my forehead?
It's a dwarf thing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's how I know you're a good person. You're definitely a good person.
Let me get you a drink. You can't have you talking here. He like flags someone down.
And they listen to him.
Yeah, and they listen to him, and then eventually a drink is, and they look at him confusingly, but they return with a drink, and they put it in front of him, and he goes like, puts it in front of him. Drink.
I try and grab it.
You can't grab it. Your hand goes through it, and that's when he kind of goes, "What?"
Listen, I think I might be a ghost.
Oh no, I know what's going on. I know this hasn't happened in a long time. It's been a while. I think I know what's up. You're having a vision.
That fits. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Oh man. Wow, this is oh god. Wow. Okay. All right.
So you've seen this before?
Not for many years. Not like 1,000 years.
Oh.